In this video I'm going to show you how you can make pictures in PRAAT that you can then paste into documents. I've got here an audio file. It's the Catalan word for dry.
Sec.
And of course one thing we could do is just this to view and edit it. Let me get rid of the formats. Okay, so you could just get that window up and then take a screenshot of the window. But the problem with doing that is that it doesn't give us a lot of control over what it is that we see or how we see it or label it and so forth. So I'm going to show you another method which is better. This method is a little bit more complicated, but all you have to do is this. First you highlight the object that you want to work with. We're going to make a spectrogram and we're going to make a waveform, and I'm going to show you the spectrogram and the waveform together and how we can make a picture with the pair of them on. So first we make the spectrogram by choosing spectrum and then to spectrogram, and then just accept the options that are there. And you can see we now have a new PRAAT object called spectrogram of the file dry. This window here is called the PRAAT picture window, and this is the place where we're going to add the picture, and this blue box makes a frame that we can put something in. You can also change the shape of the window as I'm doing now, and you can change the shape of the box. So if you want a long thin spectrogram, you make a frame like that. Or if you want a more square looking spectrogram, you make a frame like that. I'm going to go for something that's a bit of a compromise. Let's do something like that. Then we highlight the spectrogram object and then we click Draw, which gives us only one option, and that's Paint. And there's a number of options here. The main one to play with is this garnish plus or minus. I'm going to leave the garnish box ticked. Press OK and you can see that PRAAT has now added a spectrogram to the PRAAT picture window here. Now leaving it with the garnish ticked means that it's put a box around it, it's labelled the axes, so we've got time here horizontally and frequency here vertically. We can easily add extra things if we want by making sure that the frame is around the spectrogram in the right way, and then choose margins, and then let's just say marks left every, and what this is going to do is give us marks on the x-axis on the left side of the spectrogram. So what we want is we want the formant values, and we want them 1000, 2000, 3000 and so on. So the unit is 1, leave it as 1, but the distance is going to be 1000 Hertz between each of the marks that it puts on the side of the graph. We'll have it write the numbers, that is so we can see what the frequency values are. Drawing ticks with this button here means that it's going to put a little marker on the side of the graph so you can see, and saying yes to draw dotted lines means it will draw dotted lines across the spectrogram at those frequencies. So just to show you what that looks like, we go OK, and you can see there's the numbers, here are the ticks, and here's the dotted lines. Now we can do the same for the time as well, except obviously time goes along the bottom. So this is marks bottom every, and we'll just accept it. So the unit is every 1 second, and we want the distance between each one to be 1/10 of a second, so we'll accept that. I'm not going to have it draw dotted lines though, otherwise this is going to end up looking a bit like a Sudoku puzzle. So there we go, it's added 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 and so on. You can play with that and see what different effects you get. Now let's say we want a wave to go with it. We don't want the wave on top, we want the wave underneath. So make a little box underneath the spectrogram. We'll click Sound, and then we'll ask it to draw the sound. Say Draw, and we'll leave it as it is, have it garnish it. You can experiment for yourself with what happens when you change the values here. Say OK, and here now it's put the waveform underneath the spectrogram. So this part of the spectrogram where we've got the friction here, there's the corresponding part of the waveform there, so it's all aligned properly. You can do the same things with the waveform as you do with the spectrogram pretty much. I think probably the one you want to use most is marks bottom every, so we leave that as it was, and you can see it's put 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so forth. Now you still can't use this is just an object in a PRAAT picture window, so we want to save it. And the way to do that is to make a frame around everything you want to save. So in this case I want to save both the spectrogram and the waveform, so I've made a blue frame around those things. And then I go here and I go to the File menu and I say Save As, and it offers you a number of options. Nowadays it also offers you the option to save it as a PDF file, and that's what I'm going to save it as. And I will put it on my desktop. Just call it File. Now here is the file I had, called File. If I open it up, there it is. It's a PDF file. I can make it big, make it small, I can paste it into documents, and I can do what I like with it. So this is a much better and more robust way to make pictures in PRAAT, and it gives you an awful lot of flexibility.